Hi, Botanical Medicine Club. My name is Ryan, and we're back for another one of our herb talks. And without further ado, let's jump in. Okay. Here. There we go. All right, so we're going to talk about our second herb for the cardiovascular system today, and this is Ruscus aculeatus. And this is a photo of the plant. You might notice that it looks fairly similar to Crataegus, which we talked about in our last video. But if you pay attention, there are some differences with the leaves and the way the berries look. And that's because these plants are in different families. Okay, so some general facts about Ruscus. The common name for this plant is butcher's broom, and its family is the Asparagaceae family, or the asparagus family. This is the lily-like family, and some resources, some monographs, some books will note it as being in the Liliaceae family. So you might see that, but the most recent updated sources do list it under the Asparagaceae family. All right, so this family is characterized as having 3 sepals and 3 petals that are all similar in size and color. The flowers have 6 stamens, and there's a 3-parted pistil. The part we use medicinally for this plant is the rhizome or the root. And the rhizomes, in case you're not familiar, like if you have one major root from the plant with lots of tiny little like rootlet type things coming off, those little rootlets are the rhizomes. And originally, this plant was used in Europe, and before it was used medicinally, it was originally used to make small brooms, hence the name butcher's broom. And that's because the branches on this plant can be very flat and stiff, so they make a nice broom. So some of the constituents in pharmacognosy. We're going to talk a little bit about steroidal saponins here. There are other constituents in butcher's broom, but these are the primary ones we're going to focus on. And there's a couple kinds of saponins that they generally have the same properties, and the ones specifically in this one are the steroidal saponins. But saponins in general are foam-forming properties, and this is a nice way to check for quality if you're using a botanical that is high in saponins. So if you have your tincture and you shake it up, there should be some foam forming on it. If there's no foam, then you know that's not a very high quality tincture. And saponins are, due to the foam forming properties, they're soluble in both water and oil. In the plants, they often occur as glycosides. And in formula, we use them as synergizers, and this means that they help constituents mix, and they also enhance absorption. And along the lines of helping constituents mix, it's because they're soluble in both water and oil, kind of like soap. And so they're going to help water-soluble and oil-soluble constituents blend together better. Saponins are also immune modulating, they're expectorant, they're hormone modulating, and one saponin specifically in butcher's broom is ruscogenin. And this specific saponin is also anti-inflammatory and a vasoconstrictor, which is partially why we're talking about it in the cardiovascular section. Okay, so actions and uses. This plant is a venous tonic, and it decreases vascular permeability. It's anti-hemorrhagic and diuretic, as well as antibacterial. So due to these properties of the plant, it is helpful for bleeding, swelling, as well as damp conditions. So that's really what you want to think about when you're trying to use Ruscus in a formula for somebody. It's also beneficial for chronic venous insufficiency that's characterized by varicosities, edema, cold, and pain. And it can also be helpful for hemorrhoids. And lastly here, contraindications of this plant. To note, it's very safe, but it can cause some nausea. And also important here is that it's safe during pregnancy. There's a lot of herbs that are contraindicated during pregnancy. So it's beneficial to know which ones are safe and which ones are not. All right, so that is everything for our plant for this week. And we'll see you in a couple weeks with some more herb talk videos. See you next time.